Let's start. Okay, so I guess you can see what I got here. It is a Into the Wild Below Benchmade. This is the Mini Adira 18065. This is in the water collection. This knife has a grivery, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Forgive me. It has grivery handles, or gravery, however you would pronounce that. In the box, life sharp guarantee. If you don't know and this is an actual Benchmade. If you don't know, and I didn't buy it, by the way, it is on loan to me or to the channel to do a review on. A friend of mine said that I could use it to do a review, and I'll get it back to him very soon. Let's see. I don't know what gravery handles are. I'm not sure what that actually is. Uh, this is a cloth for cleaning. And I don't know if you're aware, but with a Benchmade knife, you can send it back to them and have them factory sharpen it again. So this knife is, uh, in my opinion, the handles feel about like the same type as the bug outs. The only thing is the contours of the handle. It's thicker on the back here, thinner towards the front. Um, it's pretty decent to hold. Um, that gives it strength, a lot of back strength, and it's got a what I call a back strap on it, pretty hefty one, pretty solid there. Um, does have a decent detent. It's of course a active lock or axis lock. Sorry. Kind of like the orange of that right there. The thumb stud kind of matches the lanyard that's put onto it. This knife right here, let's see, doesn't feel sharp, but that to me indicates it's probably very sharp. Uh, Strangely enough, I can feel a slight bevel towards the back. I really wasn't expecting that. Kind of along the length of the blade. Really wasn't expecting to feel. I don't feel anything on this side. So obviously this knife could use a stropping. Being as it is loaned to me, I'm not going to cut anything or anything of that nature. I'm not even going to return it with fingerprints as far as that's concerned. Um, let's see. It does have, well, yeah, I'd have to read the specs to be sure, but I would say that this right here definitely has the phosphor bronze washers in it instead of bearings. Uh, the handles, again, like I said, they are extremely strong. I can push them in, but you're not gonna break that. I mean, it's just you're not gonna break them. The pocket clip is reversible. Um, it closes fine. I mean, there's no issues with that. There is a very minimal side to side and zero up and down. Now that blade is very thick. Let's see. Let's get a measurement and see exactly what that thing is. 0.113. So it's a pretty thick blade on it. Get my caliper back in there. It has a drop point, but it is a very gradual tapered drop point. It is slightly tapered on the top, giving it more of a teardrop shape. Now, there is one thing about the blade. Let's see, you've got finger jimping right here and up here, nothing forward. It's MagnaCut CPM steel. Let's see. You've got some gimping or jimping right here on the back. Your pinky finger can catch into that. That's nice. I don't think this is going to wear down from a lot of use, to be honest with you. It feels much sturdier than I thought it would, to be honest with you. But in all honesty, the fake Benchmades that I've got, the feel of the handle is basically the same thing. So this knife right here from Benchmade is $230. Some places you'll find it $250. So it's in that 250, 230, 250 range. The blade reminds me of the FLYTAINEUM beef, which is my everyday, I call it my trash knife. It's by no means trash. It's a very good, sturdy knife. I need to hit it on the whetstone. But the blade kind of reminds me of that, only you can see it's a smaller knife by probably 3/4 of an inch. But it's just that blade style kind of gives me the impression. With that drop, though, right there, see, it took me a little getting used to the beef, to where you got your thumb in there and that gives you a huge amount of purchase. But that kind of jump up right there on that blade took me a little while to get used to. And on this one right here, I believe I could get used to it just fine, but it would take time to get used to that drop. That knife right there, I honestly believe would be a really nice skinning knife. It's just the bevel that you've got on that blade, and the feel of the knife overall. I honestly believe that that would be a nice skinning knife. I don't think I would crack a rib cage with it, that's for sure. But at the same time, I think it would skin quite a few deer before you had an issue with it. Just taking hit that on a strop from time to time, and I think you'd be fine before you ever have to hit it with a stone. The the blade, according to what I read on Benchmade, it will rust, so you have to maintain it. And pretty much, I guess, all of them will. This FLYTAINEUM beef rides in my pocket all the time, and there's a few little specks along the blade edge that you can see that is basically a little bit of rust. And no big deal. It doesn't hurt anything by any means. Uh, Trying to get a comparison with the FLYTAINEUM Arcade. I think that knife is a little closer to the size of the Adira. Butt to butt, I would say the FLYTAINEUM Arcade is about a 3/8 of an inch longer. When you match it pivot to pivot, they are what and what on the blade. You put the beef on there to the pivots, and you can see that it's about, I would say, a 1/4 inch longer than the other two. So this knife right here, I think, is a pretty nice knife. Of course, being a Benchmade, you know, it's you expect a lot out of it. But again, I have to be honest, when I'm grabbing this knife and I'm grabbing this knife, see, I really can't, I can't bend those in. It does have inserts inside here. If it didn't have those inserts, I'm pretty sure that I could probably flex that in. I guess that's maybe one of the things that I would have against Benchmades, in all honesty. is the ability to flex that, because your actual liner comes down to about here, and this is all plastic through here. And then of course your backstrap, as I call it, is locked in with these two screws here, and it doesn't extend all the way up, which is fine. That's not an issue. You can see here that the beef is the same way, and you've got gaps here in the arcade in the way that it's put together. This has the shark lock built into it, and it's actually, by the way, leased by FLYTAINEUM to be used. This is they don't call it an axis lock, but it is axis lock. The axis lock, if you may not know, was designed by Benchmade, and so they own the patents to it. So I don't know how that works as far as legalities, but everybody has a axis lock knife. And I really love the axis lock knife. Now this one is still tight, but I have used it. I've flipped it enough times that I've gotten it to where it will actually close by hand. And the more I handle this knife, of course that lanyard would have to go if this was mine, in all honesty. It's nice and it looks good on the knife, but that lanyard would go in the box and stay in the box. And y'all know I can't have a knife and not actually carry the thing, which I did recommend to my friend, because I'm quite sure he's got his own pocket knives that he likes, to take this and leave it in the box. And it'll retain its value, if not get more, become more and more worth, worth more as it goes, like a lot of old guns and different things like that. Now this pocket clip, it does remind me of the old parkerizing on guns. So I would definitely recommend hitting that with some oil, and I think it'll be good to go from now on out. Let's see, Benchmade advertises this blade at a Rockwell of 60 to 62. Let's see if there's any specs or anything here. There's nothing there. I got, let's see. CPM MagnaCut Super Stainless Steel, 60 to 62 HRC. Super stainless steel, a new stainless steel tool steel with a combination of toughness and edge retention with excellent corrosion resistance and strength. Grivery. Okay, so Grivery is glass-filled thermoplastic composite known for being extremely light and durable, widely used for automotive industry and aerospace applications. And of course the manual axis lock. That's pretty much what they've got. Prevent rust. All steels, regardless of grade or price, can eventually rust. To avoid corrosion, always keep your knife clean, dry, and lightly lubricated. If rust or spotting appears, a quality semi-chrome polished will handle that. So, y'all have seen this before on mine. Now, I'm not going to touch this knife, but being as I saw a little bit of rust starting on that blade tip, I am going to touch it up. Yep. All right, so that, And so that's taking care of that. Oh, feels as sharp as it was before. So so a real Benchmade. I've finally got a real Benchmade in my hand to touch. And I have to admit that although when I'm grabbing this behemoth next to it, of course, much more weighty, um, much lighter. Of course, you have the Grivery handles, which is designed to be light and durable, and they are. That is a very sturdy handle. I will honestly say that. But it feels like you've got more here, just knife wise than here. Of course, you've got a much larger blade diameter, or actually, the thickness is probably about what and what. I think this is thicker towards the base, but the blade is wider here than here. And of course, you've got the flat grind on here. And you all know from past knife reviews that I love a flat ground blade. So, to be honest, if I had the money, I would buy a Benchmade. I really would, if I had the money, because I kept wondering if Benchmades really felt like the clones that I have. And I'm going to be honest, physically they feel the same. Some clones are worse, some clones are better. But physically, the clones I have, they feel about the equivalent of this right here. Of course, the blade steel on those is in no way, shape, or form comparable to this. I can say though that this knife it's got a sturdiness and a strength to it that I did not expect. So I am a little bit surprised at that. I expected to really hate on the Benchmade when I finally got a real life, for sure enough, actual Benchmade in my hands. But I am very impressed with this one right here. And again, like I said, that blade would take a little bit of getting used to for me. It's just different. But again, like I said, this arcade FLYTAINEUM beef took getting used to as well, and I got used to it, and I like the blade, and I feel, in all honesty, that I would like this blade as well after carrying it for a while. Uh, so, to be honest with you, money wise, I still think Benchmades are overpriced. I can't help it. I do. I think they're overpriced. $230 for this. Uh, and I believe this would hold up just as well. This knife right here, I have cut probably, I don't know, 10 squirrel tails, a bunch of tie wraps, rope, open packages. I just cleaned it off today, as a matter of fact. Uh, you name it, I have cut just about everything, and it's still sharp, still very sharp. So edge retention is very good on this knife. I don't have a problem with the edge retention on this knife. Uh, so 60 bucks, 230 bucks. Now this right here, I believe the FLYTAINEUM Arcade is in that $200 range, but I did not pay that for this. I think, if I remember right, I paid like 60 bucks for this used on eBay. And this right here, I put a titanium pocket clip on it. And by the way, if you need screws that will fit this, go to Walmart, buy the $10 bug out killer, and those screws fit it perfectly. So there you have it. So color, it's fine. I've got other knives in this with handles in this same color. I like the color. I think it's pretty cool. I like the contrast of this orange and this orange. That little, I don't know what you'd call it, but this little dumbbell right here, I guess it's a tensioner possibly to take up the slack on that, is made of metal. This back strap right here is made of metal. Looks like the same metal as the liner. There's a little bit of jimping on it, but it's not really needed as far as I'm concerned, where it's located. So this knife, I got fat pudgy hands, and so I'm kind of crowded on the end of it. If you have a beef, then there's in no way this handle doesn't crowd me. the arcade. I come to the end, but it's tapered, and so it's not crowding my hand. Um, this is a knockoff 940 Benchmade. It's a clone, and it is, in my opinion, a pretty nice knife. I've done a lot of cutting with it, and the blade is still razor sharp. Of course, there's nothing back there to hold to crowd my fingers. It feels good in my hand, so I don't have any issues with it. And then, of course, here's the $10 Walmart Ozark Trail bug out killer that I dyed the handles on. So they're no longer orange. And of course, that right there is not crowding my hands. So, uh, in all honesty, I like the knife, but it's not one that I would want to use a lot. Because this is going to get into my hand. It's going to actually hurt here. That pocket clip is very, very proud of the side, and it is about a medium pocket clip, but it is digging into my hand, just gripping it like this right here. So it is not a constant use knife, in my opinion. Not with someone with a hand like mine. Um, and so, I mean, you can kind of, if this gives you any idea, let's see. Uh, my hand pretty much hides the whole handle. So this really crowds my hand. I believe this would be a painful knife to use continuously, but at the same time, I do like it. It's not, and you got a lot of grip on this handle. You're not gonna get slick hands and be dropping this knife. So again, my final thoughts are the blade is unusual, would take me a little getting used to, but I believe I would get used to that and work with it just fine. The flat grind on the blade is good. I love all flat grind knives. The handles are sturdy, strong. They've got a lot of grip to them. You're not going to drop it. It's not going to come out of your hands if you're holding it. Uh, Lanyards, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. It's got to go for me. Uh, I would likely, I don't know, I would definitely look for an aftermarket clip if possible. If you're going to make this a daily carry, that just does not feel like it's going to hold up a lot. It's, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that pocket clip is just, it's not up against the knife blade, and it's probably designed to be like that. It's a medium clip. It's long, and it is a lot in your hand. You definitely feel it with this knife. Now, gripping it over here, it's a whole different story. My left hand is slightly smaller, so this is not digging into my palm like it's in my left hand, and this is not crowding my finger as much. It is crowding my pinky, but not as much. You get into this to get into some detailed work like that, or as Tri-State with the what is that, the pinch grip, all day long. There you go. So if you got the money, I would say it would be worth grabbing. So anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking around. I appreciate you listening to me ramble about this. I don't know how long this video is. It's probably too long, but I've never actually touched a real Benchmade, and so it was kind of cool to have one here. And I appreciate my friend allowing me to get a hold of this and take a look at it. There's probably a lot of things that you expect me to say about this knife, being as it's a Benchmade, but I mean, all the specs and all the little odds and ends and stuff like that. Hey, it's MagnaCut, CPM. Look that up. All that alphabet soup stuff doesn't mean a whole lot to me. That's D2, and this right here, oh no, S35VN. So it's all alphabet soup. When it's dull, you sharpen it. Whenever it's rusted, you coat it. Do what you got to do. So I appreciate you coming around. I appreciate you not falling asleep. And if you did fall asleep, hey, wake up. So anyway, I would ask that if you like this content, like and subscribe. If you don't like this content, like and subscribe anyway, because you're going to find something on this channel that you like. Because I do a little bit of everything. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. I thank you for sticking around this long. And I will see you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.